Welcome to the Cenario podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. So this time around, you guys sent in a ton of really interesting stuff about morning routines and how they can really make a difference for your mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to dig into all of that today and try to pull out those key insights that can help you actually create a morning routine that works for you and supports your mental well-being.
Yeah. One of the things that really jumped out at me when I was looking at all the stuff you sent was this idea that how you start your morning kind of sets the stage for the whole rest of your day. It's not just about getting things done. It's about the vibe. It has a real ripple effect on how you feel emotionally and mentally.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just about having the perfect Instagrammable smoothie bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about being picture perfect. And it definitely doesn't require you to be working up at 4 a.m.
Right. So it sounds like this deep dive is really about understanding why those early hours are so important for our mental well-being, and then figuring out what are those fundamental elements that we can actually bring into our own lives.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So let's dive right in. Why are those morning moments so crucial when it comes to our mental health?
Well, the stuff you sent in really emphasizes this idea that how your day begins really does have this kind of like a cascade effect. It's like if you wake up feeling stressed and rushed, that feeling kind of sticks with you. It colors your interactions and makes it harder to focus.
Right, like you're already starting the day on edge.
Exactly. But if you start your day in a more mindful way, it can create a completely different atmosphere for how you feel, how you think, even how you interact with people around you.
I like that. It sets a different tone for the whole day.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are some of the specific benefits for our mental health that we see when someone has a consistent positive morning routine?
Well, the research actually shows that there are some pretty significant benefits. One big one is emotional stability.
Okay.
Starting your day with intention can help you feel more grounded, less reactive to whatever stresses come your way. It's like you're setting an anchor before you head out into the storm.
So you're building that inner resilience from the get-go.
Exactly. And another major benefit is reduced stress and anxiety. Having a predictable structure in the morning actually reduces decision fatigue. That's the mental exhaustion you get from making tons of decisions, even little ones.
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel that. So having that routine kind of streamlines the morning.
Exactly. And that sense of control, it can be a really powerful buffer against anxiety.
Right, makes sense.
And then there's the impact on focus. When you start your day in a calm, centered way, your mind is simply better prepared to, function effectively throughout the day. It's like you're setting the stage for better mental clarity.
It's interesting because I wouldn't necessarily have connected morning routine with focus, but it makes sense that a calm start leads to a clearer mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we've got emotional stability, less stress and anxiety, better focus. Anything else?
It even affects your sleep cycles, which might seem counterintuitive.
Oh, really? How does that work?
Well, it all comes back to your circadian rhythm. That's your internal clock that regulates your sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
And when you have regular wake-up times and consistent morning habits, it actually helps keep that clock running smoothly.
Oh, so that consistency in the morning actually leads to better sleep later on.
Exactly. And we all know how important good sleep is for our overall mood and mental state.
For sure. So a good morning routine isn't just about those first few hours. It has benefits that kind of stretch throughout the day and even into the night.
Exactly. And one thing that the research really emphasized, and I think this is super important for listeners to hear, is that a good morning routine is not about trying to cram in everything. It's about finding the things that work for you and doing those consistently. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
That is such a good reminder because it's easy to get overwhelmed looking at those super elaborate morning routines online and think, oh, I could never do all of that.
Right, exactly.
So keeping those benefits in mind, let's talk about some of the key elements that the research suggests incorporating into our routines. Where do we even begin?
I think a great place to start is with the idea of a gentle wake-up.
Okay.
How you transition from sleep to wakefulness. That sets a really important tone for the rest of the day. And waking up to a jarring alarm can actually trigger your body's stress response.
Oh, wow. So it's like starting the day with a jolt of stress hormones. Not ideal.
Yeah, not exactly a peaceful start we're going for, right?
Yeah.
So instead of that jarring alarm, the research suggests things like using a sunrise alarm clock, which gradually increases the light in your room.
That sounds nice. Like a more natural way to wake up.
Exactly. Or you could try listening to calming playlists or ambient sounds. And even just taking a few moments to stretch and breathe deeply in bed before you get up can make a big difference.
I like that. So much better than hitting the snooze button 5 times.
Right.
And there's also like a specific warning about our phones, isn't there?
Absolutely. The advice is to really resist that urge to check your phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Jumping straight into social media or email, it floods your brain with information, and it can be really stimulating. It's not exactly conducive to a calm and centered start.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. It's like my mind is already racing before I've even had a chance to wake up properly. So we're going for gentle wake up, no phone. What's next?
Well, after a gentle wake-up, the next important element is hydration.
Okay, hydration. Makes sense. We've been asleep for hours.
Exactly. Our bodies are naturally dehydrated when we wake up. And drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning has a surprising number of benefits.
Like,
It helps jumpstart your metabolism, improve your cognitive function and alertness. It also helps to rehydrate your organs and even flush out toxins.
wow, so many benefits from just a simple glass of water.
It's amazing, right? And the research even mentions that adding a slice of lemon or a pinch of sea salt can give you a little extra boost of electrolytes.
Oh, that's a good tip. So we've got gentle wake up, hydration. What comes next?
Well, next up is incorporating some mindfulness or meditation, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, so for someone like me whose mind tends to like race a mile a minute, especially in the morning, what does mindfulness or meditation even look like?
It's really about creating a little bit of space to simply notice your thoughts without getting carried away by them. And it can really help to ease anxiety, improve your emotional balance, and bring more clarity to your day.
So it's not about emptying your mind, but more about just like observing your thoughts.
Exactly. And there are lots of different ways to do it. You could try guided meditations. There are some great apps for that, like Calm, Headspace, Insight Timer. You could try simple breathing techniques like box breathing or the 4-7-8 breath. You could even just focus on the sensation of your breath or your body.
Okay, so lots of options. Even just a few minutes can make a difference.
Exactly.
Okay, so after mindfulness or meditation, what else could we be doing?
Gratitude journaling is another really powerful practice, and research shows that focusing on gratitude can actually shift your brain from focusing on what's wrong to appreciating what's right.
I've heard about gratitude journals, but I'm not sure how to actually like do it effectively.
It can be really simple. Just write down 1 to 3 things you're grateful for each morning. Or take a moment to reflect on some positive moments from the previous day. You could even use prompts like, today, I feel grateful for, or something that made me smile yesterday was.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be this big, elaborate thing.
Nope. Consistency is key, not complexity.
I like that. So we've talked about nourishing our minds with mindfulness and gratitude. What about our bodies?
Gentle movement is super important too. And I want to emphasize, you don't need to do a full-blown workout first thing in the morning. Even just a few minutes of movement can make a difference.
So we're not talking about an intense HII session right after waking up.
Not necessarily.
What kind of movement are we talking about then?
Well, even a little bit of movement can increase dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good brain chemicals. It can improve blood flow, ease tension, and even help reduce that morning brain fog. You could do a 5-minute yoga flow, a quick walk outside, some light stretching, or even just put on some music and dance around for a few minutes.
Okay, so just get your body moving in a way that feels good.
Exactly. And combining movement with music can give you a really nice mood boost.
I'm definitely on board with a morning dance party. So we've got movement. What about fueling our bodies with food?
Yes. Eating a nourishing breakfast is crucial too. Food is the fuel your body and brain need to function. And skipping breakfast can lead to all sorts of problems like irritability, difficulty concentrating, even energy crashes later on.
So what should we be aiming for in a breakfast that supports our mental health?
Well, the key is to focus on protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates.
Okay, can you give me some examples?
Sure. So for protein, you could have eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. For healthy fats, things like avocado, nuts, seeds. And for complex carbs, oatmeal, whole grain toast, fruit.
Okay, so basically a balanced breakfast with a good mix of nutrients.
Exactly. And try to limit those sugary cereals or pastries. They can cause those energy crashes that we want to avoid.
Right, because we want sustained energy throughout the morning. So what's another way to like set ourselves up for a good day mentally?
Setting a daily intention can be a really powerful practice. It's about consciously deciding how you want to approach the day, how you want to feel, instead of just going on autopilot.
Hmm. How do you actually go about setting a daily intention?
You can choose a short phrase or statement that resonates with you. Something like, I will approach today with curiosity and calm, or I am focused on what I can control. You can write it down, say it out loud, just keep it in mind. It's like a guiding principle for the day.
It's like a little reminder to come back to when things get stressful.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. And what about actively feeding our minds with, like, good stuff in the morning?
Reading or listening to something uplifting or informative can be a great way to do that. Instead of jumping straight into the news or social media, you could spend a few minutes reading from a self-growth book, listening to a podcast, even watching a TED Talk.
So it's about choosing to fill your mind with positivity and growth rather than negativity or comparison.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, what else can help us feel more grounded and in control as we start our day?
Doing a mini brain dump or taking a few minutes to prioritize your day can be really helpful. Just getting your thoughts out on paper can help clear your mind and make you feel more organized.
So it's like a way to declutter your mental space.
Exactly. You could just jot down the top 3 tasks you want to accomplish that day or make a simple to-do list. It helps to prevent your brain from feeling overwhelmed.
Okay, so a little bit of planning goes a long way. And the last element.
Getting natural light exposure early in the day. Sunlight plays a huge role in regulating your circadian rhythm, your mood, your alertness.
Yeah, I definitely feel better when I get some sunshine in the morning.
Right. And getting that natural light exposure in the morning helps boost serotonin levels, which makes you feel more awake and alert.
Okay, so how can we make sure we're getting enough natural light, even if we're not like an outdoorsy person?
Open your blinds or curtains as soon as you get up. Try to step outside for even just 5 or 10 minutes. You can even just sit by a window while you're eating breakfast. It all makes a difference.
Okay, that's doable. So we've talked about all these different elements, from gentle wake up to natural light. But how do we actually go about creating a morning routine that works for us, as individuals?
That's a great question. And the research provides some really good guidance on that. The first step is to understand your natural rhythm. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Your routine should really be aligned with your natural energy patterns.
So no need to force yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. if that's just not you.
Exactly. And when you're starting to build your routine, start small. Choose just one anchor habit, something you can do consistently, whether it's drinking water, stretching, or journaling.
Okay, so one thing at a time. Don't try to do everything at once.
Right. And once that one habit feels automatic, you can gradually add in more elements. And another really important tip is to create a phone-free zone in the morning.
That's a tough one, but I know it's probably good advice.
It is. Try to resist checking your phone for at least the first 30 minutes of your day. Use that time to connect with yourself, connect with nature, just be present.
I'm going to have to work on that one. And how do we make sure our routine doesn't become just another chore, something we dread?
That's where making it enjoyable comes in. Add elements you genuinely look forward to. Maybe it's brewing a cup of your favorite tea, listening to an uplifting playlist, or lighting a candle while you journal. Make it feel like a treat, not a task.
Okay, I like that. So think about what brings you joy and incorporate that into your routine.
Exactly. And in terms of timing, you can experiment to see what works best for you. The research gives an example of a 30-minute routine, but you can adjust that based on your needs and your schedule.
So there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly. And remember, your needs might change over time, so it's important to review and adjust your routine as needed.
So it's a flexible and evolving process.
Exactly. And finally, don't forget to celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Every time you stick to your routine, acknowledge that accomplishment.
Okay, so focus on consistency, not perfection.
Yes. And if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up about it. Just start fresh the next day.
Great advice. Now, the research also talked about the importance of a digital detox in the morning. Why is that so important for our mental health?
So many of us have gotten into the habit of checking our phones first thing in the morning. But starting your day with social media, emails, and news can really overwhelm your brain.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. It's like information overload before I've even had my coffee.
Right. And that can lead to increased anxiety, mental clutter, and it's a huge time suck.
So how do we break free from that phone addiction, especially first thing in the morning?
Well, the research suggests a few things. You can keep your phone out of the bedroom entirely, or at least put it on airplane mode until after you've finished your morning routine.
Okay, so create that physical separation.
Exactly. You could also try using more analog tools, like a regular alarm clock and a paper journal. And instead of reading news on your phone, try reading a physical book.
Disconnecting from the digital world for a bit.
Exactly. And there are even some apps that can help you delay or block access to social media in the morning.
Oh, interesting. So technology can actually help us disconnect from technology.
Ironically, yes.
Okay, and finally, the research also touched on the power of morning affirmations. What exactly are those and how can they benefit us?
Affirmations are basically short, positive statements that you can use to influence your mindset, boost your confidence, and align your thoughts with your goals.
Like little mantras for a good day.
Exactly. And starting your day with these affirmations, whether you say them out loud, write them down, or repeat them to yourself during meditation, can really set a positive tone.
Okay, so what are some examples of those affirmations?
Sure. Some examples from the research include, I am calm, focused, and ready for the day ahead. I choose inner peace over the pursuit of perfection. Today, I will prioritize my mental and emotional well-being. I possess everything I need within myself to navigate this day. I am in conscious control of my thoughts and my reactions, and I move through this day with clear intention and purpose. Those are really powerful statements. So it sounds like a consistent morning routine tailored to our individual needs and preferences can truly be transformative for our mental health.
It really can. You know, as the research points out, your morning routine isn't just about getting things done. It's a chance to connect with yourself, to set a positive tone for the day, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace.
So it's about taking care of our mental and emotional well-being right from the start.
Exactly. And even small, seemingly insignificant actions can have a ripple effect, not just on your morning, but on your whole day, and even your overall well-being.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the power of morning routines. It's clear that it's not about striving for some unrealistic ideal, but about finding those small things that work for you and doing them consistently.
It's about creating a morning routine that supports you, nourishes you, and sets you up for a good day. Absolutely. So, listeners, as you think about your own mornings, consider how even just one or two of these elements, applied with consistency and self-compassion, could shift not just your morning experience, but the overall trajectory of your well-being.
It's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly. What single small step feels most aligned with your needs and intentions right now? Think about that and start there.
And remember, every morning is a new opportunity to begin again.
Thanks for joining us for the deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.